Woke up this morning, saw a world full of trouble now. I thought, how do we ever get so far down? And how's it ever gonna turn around? So I turned my eyes to heaven. I thought, God, why don't you do something? Yeah. Well, I just couldn't bear the thought of people living in poverty, children sold into slavery. The thought disgusted me, so I shook my fist at heaven. I said, God, why don't you do something? And he said, I did. This is your part, Birmingham, come on. Well, I created you. Are you ready? Come on. Say if not a sin. Ooh, yeah. If not me and you. Right now. Right now. Well, it's time for us to do something. Talking about how we all got our hands and feet. You know, it's easier to say than to be. We live like angels without the feet, and we tell ourselves, it's alright, I'm sure somebody else will do something. But that's not enough, is it? Well, I don't know about you, but I'm sick and tired of life with no desire. I don't want a flame, I want a fire. And I want to be the one who's going to stand up and burn my hand and say, I'm gonna do something. Is anybody with me? Say I'm not a sin. Ooh, if not me and you. Right now, well, it's time for us to do something. Yes, it is. Well, if not now, then when? Come on. Will we see it? To all this pain, we're gonna see it into the pain. What's not enough to do nothing? Well, it's time for us to do something. Alright, now here we go. We are the salt of the earth. We are a city on a hill. But we never gonna change the world. I stand still. Now let me hear somebody say, no, we won't stand still. If you believe it, let me hear you say, I can't hear you. Say, no, we won't stand still. Now, here we go. If not us, then who? Yeah, if not me and you. Right now, yeah. I said it's time for us to do something. Come on. Well, if not now, then when? Or will we see it? And to all this pain, yeah. Well, it's not enough to do nothing. What time is it? It's time for us to do something. Come on, say, well, it's time for us. I can't hear you. Well, it's time for us. Make the rest of the world hear you. It's time for us to do something. Say it.
Thank you. You feel it? Good things are about to happen. First of all, let's make sure everybody is at Woodlawn tonight. This isn't over. Tonight, Woodlawn, you will feel the Spirit again tonight here. Just come on back. I think it's 7 o'clock. And come on back. Tomorrow, I'm going to be speaking at Heading Light Church. So I'll be speaking there tomorrow morning. I'm also then going to a stake center for my faith, and I'm going to be speaking there. And then we're getting on the airplane and going home. But our work has just begun. Just begun. Today is all about taking action. This is the moment when we decide. Today is about finding out what you're ready to do. Are you willing to do it? Because today we face one of the greatest dangers ever. The challenges that we face alone. We can face them, and we can face them alone, and I'll tell you what will happen, we will lose. Or we can face them together and win. We will win as a congregation, we will win as a community, we will win as a country, we will win as a culture if we stand together united. I don't know about you, but I don't recognize my country anymore.
No.
I don't recognize it anymore. I don't know how to explain it to my children anymore. I have never seen things that are happening so rapidly, happening so often. I have never felt evil this close. It is inside of the house, and the world is truly unraveling, and the gates of hell have opened up. Period. Every day we see the images everywhere of evil on the march. We're on the beach, where men are brought out in orange jumpsuits and slaughtered, and their screams fill the air, and their blood fills the ocean. In Iraq and in Syria, the men in the trucks come out, and they gather the innocent men and boys. They're immediately machine gunned, and the women and the girls are sent into slavery, where they're sold, and they are raped over and over and over every single day. And when there's nothing left of them, they're discarded. Evil exists. It is clear. And we see it now. We see it everywhere. We see it in the University of Nigeria, where men with machine guns storm in to the student center, and they separate the Muslims from the Christians. And then they kill all of the Christians. We know what this is. Nobody has to tell it. We know what it is. We recognize it when we see it. And there's nothing that can justify it. Yet, fellow human beings are doing this. People just like us that are doing it. They've been raised to believe that it's okay. But where does evil like this come from? I wonder, as we watch what's happening all around us, when children set fire to the streets, when they answer an injustice with anarchy, when they have a hole in their hearts that can only truly be filled with resentment, when they cannot take the hand of a stranger who just wants to help because it's white. Where does this come from? More importantly, plan it out in your head. Where does it go from here unless it's stopped? When people say Black Lives Matter, that's true. Black Lives Matter. It's true, they do matter. But when you say all lives matter, too many people today turn away. Too many people get angry. And that's not good. Because if we can't say all lives matter, then honestly, nothing matters. Nothing matters.
Right.
If only Black lives matter, then where does that lead us? All you have to do is project it out in your mind, and you know where it leads us. It leads us to a place to where we believe that some lives matter more than other lives. It leads us into a place where we think that some lives can be ended no matter what the cost. It leads us down the road of moral deafness and moral blindness. Today, let us stand together and say, I refuse to go down that road one more step. I refuse to take the path that this society and this world is now offering to us, because that path leads us back to the beach. It leads us to the rape rooms. It leads us to the killing fields. I know where that path leads. It leads to Paris, where men and women are just sitting at their desks at a humor magazine, and they're machine gunned down in cold blood. All because they had the nerve to draw and publish a cartoon. And across town, another man walks into a kosher supermarket, armed to the teeth, and he slaughters 4 men who dare to confront him. We see it in Jerusalem, where men are gathered in a synagogue for morning prayer, and they're attacked by Palestinians wielding hatchets, with blood mixed with the prayer shawls in the city that is named after peace. It's here too. We see it in our own cities, where a young man, a white man, can walk into a church, a black church, and they welcome him in, and they study the scriptures with him. And he takes out a weapon and he kills 9 people in cold blood. Everywhere we see the same thing. In Virginia, we saw it again this week. Except the roles were reversed. It's the same idea all around the world, just expressed in a different way. That some lives matter more than other lives. That some lives are valued and others are not. That is the very essence of evil. That is the gateway to evil. That's how you define evil. And evil is rising up all among us. All around us we see it. No one can say anymore that they can't see it. Nobody can make that claim with a straight face. We see it, and we know what it is. And unfortunately, we now have the benefit of a personal witness to the casual cruelty of evil. Planned Parenthood. We have all seen these videos that are beyond explanation. If we can bear to watch them, they don't hide anything. It's out for everyone to see. We see people just like our neighbors. They're just like us. They're well educated, they're prosperous, they're respectable people. They're sitting around a table sipping their Chardonnay, eating some sort of fruit salad, talking about the price that they can get for organs out of murdered babies. In that world, it's simple. Some lives are worth something, and others are worthless, unless they're dead, and they can be harvested to sell their organs. And just like in the rape rooms, when their usefulness is done, they're thrown away in the garbage bins.